Welcome everyone once again back on Cybertalk with InfosecTrain. Today's conversation is with someone who comes with a journey of military services and establishing himself in cybersecurity leadership. I am Anas and I'm actually thrilled to host a discussion with Sushant today. Sushant, welcome here. While addressing about himself, I would love to say that I feel very proud whenever I host someone coming from
Thank you,
the
Anas.
background where they were serving for our nations and making us believe that we are safe and secure. Yes, Sushant comes from Indian Air Force and he has established himself in information security leadership positions post his CSSP certifications. And today we are going to talk about him in a very simple sense, military to cybersecurity, because he kept on saying always that what I wish I knew, and focuses on values and lessons that he learned during the career transitions, while also exploring how military experiences are. Because when we talk about security, that's the core ingredient where military people usually work on, and they shape the entire approach of physical safety to digital safety, and there this really important key role plays of cybersecurity challenges. We'll examine both personal journey aspects, what he has there in terms of technical enhancement that he has brought up in his journey. For those who are looking similar careers in their future, or the company who are looking down the line to understand to set up such type of feature in their organizations to add such veteran talent to bring up their organization to the next platform, this is going to be great for you all. Welcome, Sushant. We're really happy to have you here. Just wanted to have some words with you. Can you just let us know about yourself?
Yeah, so sure. Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction, Anas. And I'm really privileged to be part of this particular podcast organized by the InfosecTrain.
Yeah.
And Train has actually played a vital role in my certification journey as well. So I did training of two certifications, CISM and CISSP from InfosecTrain, and the support and the training material and the kind of support which was provided by InfoSec Train was amazing, due to which I was able to actually clear two certification. And if a brief introduction goes, so I'm Squadron Leader Sushant. So I served in the Indian Air Force for 10 years. Then I moved to a corporate, and here I've almost completed more than 3 years in the corporate as well. Uh, so that's all about me, and I hold multiple industry certifications like CISM, CISSP, and CH and ISO 27001. That's a
Oh,
quick and brief introduction about me, Anas.
that's the tons of experiences that you have gathered in a very short span of time, we must say. And that's, I mean, that's a key to all the learners who are looking for the career in cybersecurity. That discipline is something which really, if they bring it out there in day-to-day life, and then they can just empower anything. So let's just understand about the transition of journey, because there, I think a lot of people are these days shifting their transition from cybersecurity to some other domain to cybersecurity. This is one of which you have also taken down the line. So could you share your story of moving from Indian Air Force to cybersecurity, and what is the specializedly? I mean, can you say about what is the specific reason that motivated you to come to this transition?
Sure. That's a good question, Anna. So, as I've already told, I have almost a decade-long experience in the Indian Air Force, and I worked there within a technical branch. I was a technical officer over there, and I worked with the uh, strategic systems. I was associated with the radar systems. I worked
Okay.
with the IT infrastructure, networking infrastructure in the Indian Air Force, and as I was a short service commissioned officer, so we have a short stint of 10 years, extendable up to 4 more years. So I knew that I have to actually move to the corporate world. So I decided to move to the corporate world after serving there for 10 years. And the transition to civilian sector was, as I told, was always on the cards. And cybersecurity actually emerged as a compelling and the natural progression for me, which actually helped me a lot so far. And the several factors actually which especially motivated towards this shift was my direct exposure, as I told, to in this information security in the military setting, as well as also I've as officer I've led multiple men under me which were doing the IT infrastructure maintenance and other things. Also, I was part of it, so it actually helped me a lot. And secondly, the skills actually which military training as well as military service provide to each and every individual over there. Like, so Air Force actually provided me remark cable transferred skill, like analytical skills, as well as good leadership skills. And you work in high risk environment where every day there are new risks emerged. So let me take example of currently everyone is aware in all across the country we are in the conflict with our neighboring nation Pakistan. So you can see that how precise and how risk actually evolve each and every day, new things emerge. And in such kind of situation you need to take decision, as well as in such within limited resources you have to take decision as well as come up with solution. So if I see the cybersecurity actually is a increasing threat all across the world. If we see the top risks which are there in the world today, if you see the Bloomberg and other reports also, so cybersecurity comes in top two or top three today, other than the geopolitical and the financial risks which are there in the world. So we know that cybersecurity is very emerging risk, and a lot of cybersecurity professionals are also needed everywhere to protect the asset, protect the nation. Even this today currently the whatever the conflict is we are having already, adversaries they started targeting the cybersecurity infrastructure of the country. So to defend same thing, we actually require the cybersecurity professionals like me, who can go ahead and protect the infrastructure. So that's how actually it helped me. And once I decided that I'll be actually making my journey from Air Force to corporate world, so I already started preparing for that. I upskilled myself. I actually did few certifications. First, I started with the program and the project management. I am already PMP and Scrum certified. Then I slowly moved to the corporate world. I got an opportunity with a US multinational bank, and there I was working with the third party risk management. I've worked with the cyber incident management as well, and even little bit I've had a small stint with the cloud risk management as well. And then from there I moved to the second corporate. It's a French national bank currently I'm working with as a security consultant. So that was a short stint and experience what I would like to
No,
share.
that's really wonderful. You bring tons of experiences in many domains, and the best part is the way you mentioned about the security. In both the domains, we consider about the security with the risk mitigation factors which you actually mentioned about there. We have specific time to recall everything. We have to plan everything, and we have to execute with the available resources we are actually having. And that's what we are actually seeing these days. And I think that's the best time we can talk about this podcast, wherein we can correlate the danger, or you can say the threat to security in any
Correct.
sense. And it can never be always on the related to border conflicts. It can also be implemented into your system and digital conflicts as well, because we never know from where the threat is actually coming. With this, we would love to take, because you are the right person to give an example to all of us, that during your military experiences initially, what helps you to hinder your adoptions to cybersecurity work culture? Because this was entirely new for you. I mean, let's say somebody is trying to shift from one specific day-to-day domain to another domain. It's quite difficult for them. So, what was that biggest hindrance that you think that has actually played a difficult role for you to come up? And what similarities also do you observe? Because there should be some similarities as well with
Correct.
respect to your previous work experience with the new cultural development that you have actually made with yourself.
Correct, correct. Yeah. So that's actually apt question for all the military veterans, or maybe
Yeah.
all the people, or not only military veterans, other people also in the corporate setting who want to migrate to cybersecurity as a career. So as I already had a short stint with the military, I was already there for only there for 10 years. Generally, the people those who serve more than 20 plus years and then they come out of the military setting, generally they face more challenges as compared to us coming at the short tenure of the 10 years. But still I would like to highlight few things which is actually a little bit different than the military to the corporate setting. Like we all know that military follow hierarchical structure approach, where things happen from the top down approach, and which is actually essential also to take the decision and to fight a war, because without that you cannot have an open culture in a military, and you cannot actually fight a war. That is very important thing. So that was actually over there. And here if I came in the corporate, it's open culture, we have agile teams, and we follow in the agile settings, which was actually totally different. Then second thing is the communication. What the kind of communication which we follow there in the military, the pattern of that communication is generally it actually in the directness and the brevity it contains, because you need to clearly communicate, and the things circulating from a top to the down till the last soldier which is happening. But in corporate setting, actually the efficiency is much more valued. And if I talk about in the cyber security, so I have to actually learn and navigate, actually learn new tools, learn new technologies, learn new communication method to communicate with my peers, with my manager, with my senior leadership. So that was also one of a challenge. But in the risk also, if I talk about the risk, because we are having a cybersecurity broadcast, so the risk also which is there in the military setting and the corporate setting is totally different, because there it's all about the national security, loss of life, because a single kind of a failure or single kind of issue, if you miss, there's going to be loss of life. Yesterday only you saw in the news, right? The n number of missiles was fired from there, and even a single missile was not being shot down by them, it will hit somewhere in the civilian area, and a lot of lives will be lost. So such kind of risk is every day it's there. But in the corporate, if you see, however, here also we have a risk to the person and risk to the information, but the most of the time the risk which you face, that is the financial risk, loss of the information, loss of the reputation of the organization, that kind of risk what we every day see here in the corporate setting. So
So yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I got one thing very interesting. You mentioned about that hundreds of missiles have been fired, but nothing has been got hit by us. If I wanted to compare with the cybersecurity, I think our SOC team was very effective in that case.
Correct, correct. So actually, it initially when the war started, even before we launched this Ops Sindoor, before that only I saw a lot of news that they started targeting our web portals, our banking sector, and all. They started flooding. They all were getting the request, as well as flooding requests from some other countries, because generally these people they use the VPN and other kind of devices, so they were getting flooded. So they have to actually stop traffic coming out of those thing. Mainly, I read, I think NSC and the BSC they got impacted first. Stock exchange they were trying to target. So it always happen. And these days, actually, if you see, the war is actually more fought towards the digital side. If you are not able to protect your infrastructure digitally, maybe you will lose a lot of things, right? If
Right.
your websites are down, your communication equipments are down, you'll not be able to fight the war. So that's why the digital infrastructure is protection of that is very important.
I think this comes into the genetics of people who are actually taking transition from the military to cybersecurity, because they then let us know that this is the basic ingredients of keeping our nation and keeping ourselves safe. It is not only related to something which is about the part of physical intervention. It could be really impact you anywhere. I mean, if your bank servers gets down, if you're not able to do transactions,
Correct.
if you're not able to make telecommunications, I think that is also one of the biggest impact when somebody can bring it out to us. Uh, let's understand, do we really have, as a nation, if you see, as your contribution, when you see, do you think that we have a skill translation or development in this? I mean, if I talk to you, skills from your military routines are most valuable in cybersecurity, and which we also wanted to know, we wanted to do to common people as well, that they should also follow in day-to-day life, because that is what our nation wanted to know.
Correct, correct, sure, sure. So definitely the skills what we learn there, it's always transferable over here as well. But I've already told you, military work in a kind of always with the continuous threat. We have a strategic setup as well, and military also have a. If I talk about the cyber security, we also have our own network infrastructure. However, that infrastructure is not connected to the World Wide Web. It's a more of a interconnected network, but definitely there also we have a threat every day emerging. So if I talk about the skills which are most valuable here, first thing is the discipline and the meticulousness. That is very important, because if I talk about the example of a SOC analyst, right, he need to be always alert, always agile to actually handle that alert. If he's not agile and alert to handle that particular uh, alert which is being generated, he's not able to identify that particular alert at right given point of time, definitely that will get into your system and something will
I think our SOC team needs to be something similar to like S400.
correct, correct. You said it rightly. As soon as you detect a threat, immediately you should be able to target and you should be able to identify that particular threat and neutralize it. That's how the SOC team works. And if I talk about the problem solving and the under pressure, right? So you always are in the continuous threat. You are operating in an under pressure situation. In that particular time, you need to actually develop problem solving skills. If I may compare, suppose there is a kind of a DDoS attack is being launched on, maybe if I talk about the corporate setting in your company website, and same time some other attack happens, same time some other threat emerges, n number of things are coming to you at one single point of time. You need to be always calm, and at that particular time situation, you need to take action properly, right? Otherwise you will end up losing your business, as well as your website will be down. And similar thing happened in the military as well. Yesterday you saw, right? N number of things were coming. Drones were coming, fighters were also approaching here. They were doing shelling also. The multiple things were happening at once, but you have to keep calm, compose, as well as assess the situation properly, and then accordingly launch the attacks. So that's why I'm comparing the military with the cyber world, because it's almost similar. Here also we are fighting the war with the cyber criminals, and there we are fighting war with the terrorists and the other nations,
And
not so friendly.
if I make it very precise, we are fighting with threats. One side we have digital
Correct,
threats, on the other side we have physical threats.
correct.
It's poorly. With this very interesting idea comes into my mind. You mentioned about your CSSP certification. I mean, really that helps you to be technically sound enough to look out after. But we do observe that the people are not technically sound enough. So first, we wanted to know that why CSSP certification you really go on for, and what helps you most in tech skills, and what are those basic skills that you think that everybody should have in day-to-day life.
Sure, sure. So if I was a technical officer there, I had a little bit exposure to IT and all, but I was not hardcore cybersecurity expert in the Air Force. So I
Okay.
have a little bit exposure towards that. So you may compare me with someone who is maybe a software developer, or maybe doing the project or the program management, and would like to transition to the cybersecurity. So it was totally new to me. Uh, However, I had basic skills like network security, basic risks, and all those things I was aware about. But a lot of things, most of the domains, most of the technical things was new to me. So that's thing. And why I decided CISSP, because we all know it's a gold standard considered in the cybersecurity world. Everyone recognized it. And second thing is that the domain, the structure, the how ISC Square has designed the structure of this exam, all 8 domains, if you see it, covers everything which is there in the cybersecurity, mostly from a risk to till incident management, till identity and access management, software development, everything it covers. So I had exposure to few of the domains, but few of the domains were new to me. Like I've never been exposed to the identity and access management. I have never worked with the software development. So those things were new to me. So I have to learn from the scratch. I have to learn new tools, new skills, and that's how CSSP actually helped me. It was a really a good experience, because the once you prepare for the exam, definitely you get to learn a lot. And second thing is that the questionnaire and the kind of cat exam pattern which we follow in the CISSP, that is also very difficult thing to, because all the 4 options would be correct. You need to choose which is the best out of them. So that time also you should be having very deep understanding, deep knowledge of that particular domain. Otherwise you will not be able to choose which is the best out of those 4.
So true. I think there is no better time than today. We are talking about a lot of things. So let's just understand about the difference we observe with respect to military operations, with respect to civilian operations. I mean, what you have observed, a key difference, we would love to know that. So that, I mean, in both the aspects, we see the difference of handling is quite similar, but we wanted to understand deep down to see the real key ingredients behind that.
Correct, correct. So if you see any kind of, if you we talk about the operation, so end goal of the operation is to achieve some objective, right? So in the military also we would like to achieve some objective. Even in the same thing here in the corporate also, if I may talk about you are a cybersecurity expert, maybe any team you are, you want to achieve some kind of objective. So if may I may compare, so military actually are actually fundamentally oriented towards achieving the objective through organized application of the lethal force. That's what we do. We launch the missile, we launch the attack, we suppress the enemy. That's how we do. And then we would like to defeat the adversary. But if we talk about in the corporate setting, in the organizations, maybe they are working in any kind of maybe it can be the government or the banking sector, any companies. So they are providing some kind of a services, some kind of a product to their customers and all. So that's their objective, their core objective, that their product, their services, they should reach to their customers effectively, right? If there is any kind of disruptions over there, definitely they will lose the business, they will lose the reputation. So that's is there. And if I talk about that, military operations generally they operate in kind of a rules of engagement what they follow, because in the rules of the engagement you would like to engage the enemy, you would like to attack them, you would like to suppress them, right? But here in the corporate setting, in the cyber security, you follow the laws, rules, regulations. There are different regulatory bodies over there. You have a GDPR, HIPAA, and SOC 2 compliance, SOX compliance. So you need to comply with everything, right? Because if you are not able to consider them as a risk, you're not able to treat them properly, definitely you will be end up at the wrong foot. And if I compare with the military, same thing is that you are not able to actually suppress their attack which is coming from their end. You are not able to identify threat which is being generated by them. Definitely you will get harmed. So that's how it's
That's
compared.
very briefly you explained, but I think, but there is one tricky curiosity question comes in our mind. You come up with Indian Air Force, you come up with some colleagues in Indian Army, maybe. Do you think we are enough equipped now with respect to any cyber interventions at this critical time? We are actually facing the tension at the borders we have observed. Do you think our infrastructures and our entire ecosystem is strengthened enough that we can beat up anything? Or you would love to recommend or would love to give some suggestions or point of actions we should take care of it?
Sure, sure, definitely. So I'll just explain. Recently, actually, I was part of the Information Security Media Group conference. They were organizing Cybersecurity Week, so there was conference here in the Bangalore. So there was a DG Cyber Warfare from IPS officer from here Bangalore. He was there. So I attended his lecture. So what he was saying, that the amount of threat which are being generated, the amount of cyber crimes which are being generated, and the number of people those we have to handle them, is there is a vast difference. He said that every day we receive more than thousands of cyber incident and the alerts which are happening over there. And you imagine, like, people those who are working to protect that, maybe you can have 100 people team, maybe more than 150 people team, right? If you divide the number of incident to the person ratio, it's actually very less, right? Definitely we have the infrastructure here in India. uh, we have set up a lot of things, because in the current scenario also you see that they are trying to take down our system, but we are able to hold it, we are able to protect everything what we have here in India. So definitely we have a good infrastructure. But yes, there are a lot of things to be done, because the AI and the new technologies coming in picture, the attacks which are being launched by them, they are also evolving day by day. We have a quantum and all. So as these new things are coming in picture, you need to also evolve every day, because you cannot actually rely on those old technologies,
True.
old tools, as well as old methodologies which you are following, that you are doing. Like if you are following, still following the old cryptographic algorithm, you have not changed it, definitely someone would have find a crack to that cryptographic algorithm, and
Exactly.
they'll crack it. So every day you need to evolve, because cyber security is a kind of field. If you don't evolve, if you don't uh, stay one step ahead of them, same thing happen here in the military also. If you don't step one step ahead of the military enemy, you will not be able to protect yourself. You will end up losing lives, you will end up losing your business, your money, everything goes for a stake.
So if I'll see Mr. Sushant as a power-packed, experienced, you can say, how warm-blooded and armed Air Force officer who just got CISSP certified professional with a military background, and if I not wrong, how do you approach to risk management differently with respect to your peers who entered into cybersecurity through a traditional IT path? Because when I see you, you come up with whenever you try to contribute in terms of security, This back in mind, there is patriotism, which allows you to be a little bit extra on that, which maybe with everybody else. So do you see such differences out there, or do you try to compose yourself and go with other people are going ahead?
Correct, correct. Definitely, definitely. So risk management is a kind of a word which happened everywhere, right? If I may take very simple example, today I'm attending this particular talk with you, and
Right,
there's always a risk, right? In between podcast, you would definitely would don't want your audience or me losing my video, right? You losing my
right,
network connections from this
right.
side. So that is a risk which is being generated over here. So definitely, I'll be having one backup system ready with me. I have a backup hotspot ready with my mobile, right? So the similar kind of thing happen here as well, right? So once I did CISSP certification, so best thing is that CISSP give you holistic view of all the domains, all the different domains. It talk about the network security, it talks about the risk and governance, it talk about the incident management. We have IAM also, identity and access management, software development, secure software development lifecycle. It talks about the different rules, laws, and regulations. So definitely your risk perspective changes according to that. Because if you're not working in that particular domain, you will definitely be getting a good understanding of that. And as so, if I talk about it, so my military background actually it helped me instill a deep understanding of the potential adversaries, what we have, their capabilities, how what are the motivations, what are the tactics. I've already told you that previous company I worked with the TPRM, so I was part of cyber incident team. I have myself seen a lot of cyber attacks. You might have heard about the move it attack, which actually impacted more than 1,000 plus organization across the world. And the move it attack cost them billion of dollars, because it is a file transfer software which is being used by a lot of organization, and there was zero day attack. And me being at the defense level for my organization, I saw a lot of companies getting impacted due to it. Even a big names, big companies, those you think they are the big tech giants, they also got impacted with this. So you need to always stay ahead. uh, any day zero day vulnerability may come up. Definitely you cannot patch the zero day vulnerability because there is no patch available, but still you have to be always ready with your network infrastructure, your defense in depth infrastructure. That should be always be ready, protecting your bank and the organization, so that if a zero day vulnerability comes, adversary is able to get into your system, that particular infrastructure is supporting you behind you and is able to protect your organization from uh, getting any information getting disclosed, or maybe any kind of financial risks which are being posed.
So, based on your experiences in both structured military environment and corporate settings, okay, what fundamental security practices do you see commonly neglected, because of which there are chances that we could find scenarios where we fail when to handle these things?
Correct, correct. So if you talk about the currently kind of the world, it actually moves at a very fast pace, right? But the basic hygiene still remains the same. Still, you see in the cyber awareness training which are being conducted everywhere, they always talk about keep your password strong, keep don't share your OTP, don't actually click on any kind of a phishing link, because there is always a saying among the cyber world, it's not about the how brilliant the attacker is. Same thing is there in the military also. It's actually how foolish the user is, right? If you are the foolish enough, you are clicking on that link, so definitely the person will be able to take advantage of that. So you have to always be alert. That's why, so the basic cyber hygiene, it always remains same. Like changing the password, basic raising the awareness among the people, and lot of organization, what they do these days, they actually focus on a lot of high tech tools. They're getting into AI being a buzzword. Everyone want to adopt the AI. They think that if you purchase a high tech product, high tech solution, if you deploy it, you are actually protected with all the threats and all. It does not work like that.
So, Shant, just wanted to add one thing to that discussion we're actually having. When you mentioned about the AI, that part, one of our viewer has requested a question for you. I would love to read that. How has military training in strategic thinking influenced your approach to emerging threats like AI-powered attacks or supply chain compromises?
Okay, yeah, that's actually a very good question. And if you see in today's era, these supply chain attacks, these are actually on the rise, right? Uh, Even the movie attack which I talked about, this was also a supply chain attack only. It targeted multiple number of organization. So AI and other technologies, they are evolving, and the threat actors are also able to launch very sophisticated attack using them, right? And in supply chain attack, if you see these lot of the organization, if you see, they generally, you cannot use each and every proprietary tool. So you purchase the different tools and the technologies from the different organization, and once you purchase such kind of a tools and technologies, generally you don't have a good visibility in that particular tools, right? How, what kind of a coding or the language in which that particular tool is written, what are the different hidden vulnerabilities which that particular tools bring, right? Because that's why you see a lot of zero day attack happening. And same thing happened with the move it, big panda, even log4j vulnerability. These all were supply chain attacks. So one thing got compromised, and then back to back other companies also got impacted, because if you're able to find vulnerability in that particular product, all the organization, all the companies, those who are using that particular product, they are vulnerable. So that's how it happened. And if I talk about the military, so what happened, military strategy actually, it emphasizes on understanding the enemy's ultimate goal, what they actually want to do, what is their target. Because if you don't understand what is the adversary target, what is their ultimate goal, you'll not be able to protect yourself. First you need to understand your enemy better, then only you'll be able to design the security accordingly. Similar thing happen in the cyber security also. If you don't understand what your threat actors are doing, which kind of attacks they are actually working on, you will not be able to actually deploy a countermeasure to actually protect yourself from that particular threat. A similar thing in the supply chain attack happens. If you are not able to actually bring a good risk management infrastructure, good TPRM infrastructure, where you are seeing what are the risks which company has from where you are actually getting that particular software certificate and the product. Without that, you will not be able to actually protect yourself, because TPRM plays a very crucial role in this scenario. You go to that particular third party, you ask for their infrastructure, what type of risk they have, which policies they have in place, which tools they have in place, what kind of infrastructure they have, before you start business with them. Because if you just purchase a tool and then start using it, you never know when it will get impacted with a zero-day vulnerability.
That's, I mean, very, if you say, it's very clear understanding. You just mentioned that it is not only important that how prepared we are inside, it is supposed to be how prepared we are at the actual plans, what they are looking to implement on us. I mean, if we have no
Correct.
idea what attackers are planning, even if we have planned for everything, we will not be able to do anything. That's the
That's why
first
you
thing.
have a blue team, red team in the organization. You
Right.
continuously keep doing the exercises. You
Right.
keep trying different things in the
I mean, that's
organization.
exercises are quite similar to the mock drills we are doing these days.
Correct. Similar thing you do in the cybersecurity world as well. Because if you're not actually doing the exercises properly during the peacetime, or maybe when you don't have any kind of a threat, then you will end up doing a lot of messing things around here and there if you do once actual threat comes. So that's why you actually prepare for everything. Same thing with the BCP DRP also. If you don't actually properly check your BCP DRP plan, maybe actually when there is a threat, actually when your data center goes down, maybe you will not be able to bring up your standby data center immediately. So that's how it works.
Sounds interesting. With this, one more thing we added to the last discussion. You mentioned about the tools. Though having all the tools, it's just like having all the weapons, all the fully tank loaded informations and everything with you, but then you don't know how to fire them. It's just like you have no clue how to do them, how to use them. So the basic exercises and trainings are very much important. With this, there's another
Correct.
question that comes into my mind. I would love to know from you that many organizations I've also observed struggle with security basics, and despite being having sophisticated tools. So what's your instance on this? I mean, why it really comes out?
Correct. So these days, if you see many organization, they are struggling with the fundamental, but they are actually investing in a sophisticated tools as well as technologies. They are doing a lot of things with the cutting edge technologies. But if you are not maintaining, basic thing is you're not maintaining a inventory of your assets, right? You don't have a correct inventory of assets. I work with the two organizations. Those are a good huge multinational bank, they have some millions of number of computer assets, servers and all, right? If you're not maintaining a properly asset inventory of them, you will not be able to actually track it properly, right? Which particular asset, what is happening, which is getting decommissioned, which particular server need to be patched, which particular IT asset is being monitored properly. That's why you deploy the EDR agent everywhere, right? You monitor all your endpoint equipments. So if you're not monitoring each and everything which is there in a network perimeter, you will be not able to protect yourself. So that's why it is very important. And sometimes what organizations do they overcomplicate their security architecture. They actually make it so complex when if there is a kind of a attack which is happening, and deploying actually solutions before mastering the fundamentals, and the complexity also increases, your attack surface also increases. That's why we tell, the more complex architecture you have, more number of vulnerable points you are bringing in for the threat actor, so he'll be able to get into your system.
Yeah, I remember back in time when we were talking earlier, you mentioned something similar to me, that there is no point of making anything extra sophisticated to make it little suffocating.
Correct, correct, correct. Definitely, definitely. And that's why, in my opinion, a balanced approach is essential. You have a good tools, good technology, definitely you adopt them. But apart from that, you should have a good risk management program. You have good policies in place. You do all the exercises properly. You train your technicians, your analysts, and your security engineers properly. Then only you will be able to ensure holistic security.
You made us believe that how very easily and how quickly we can bring it up to our day-to-day life and make it available for everyone. We'll ask some few questions down the line when we are about to end this podcast. What similarities do you see the current scenario we are observing in physical in threats with respect to digital threats which may come? But before I go there, I just wanted to know, because a lot of people are planning for the career shift and career advancement, and nobody better than you can give an idea on this part. Huh? So for those all military personnel, those who are considering their career in cybersecurity, or they're planning to shift in this, what specific technical skills or certifications beyond, as you mentioned about CISSP and CSM and other things, would you love to recommend focus on first, then instead of just come up and start their career?
Correct, correct. Definitely CISSP, CSM, these are actually the top level certifications, what we generally consider in the cybersecurity. So before jumping into these, first you should have a good basic understanding of the cybersecurity. That's why once before you start with the CISSP, you first go and attempt CC, which is certified in cybersecurity, very basic level exam. First, your understanding of the cybersecurity should be clear, or maybe you may start with the CompTIA Security Plus, which is a very basic level certification, which talk about network security, your risk management, your other aspects of the cybersecurity. And then once you are good with that, and maybe those people who are actually not very good with the I'll say technical settings, right? They are not very technology, or maybe technology oriented, technology sound, right? They can go, there are other career paths as well in the cybersecurity. They may get into CISA, certified in auditor. They can go do this certification. They may do C-risk also, which actually make you a better risk
But
management person.
you know the day-to-day habits and experiences of your colleagues, the habits and the regular routines they have. Which you can say the career path excites them more and get them aligned. Do we have a bigger umbrella for cybersecurity? But where do you think that they feel being more excited and more loved about working that thing?
So what I believe, till my whatever experience I have, so most of the military officers who are coming from the military into cybersecurity, if they are actually doing very good technically sounds and all, they can may get into maybe SOC, cyber threat intelligence and all those things. But if they are not that technically sound, but they're good with the risk, I'll definitely suggest them getting into the GRC domain, because uh, if we see 80% of the teams currently in the cybersecurity, they worked in the CGRC domain. 20% people are actually doing the technology and those kind of oriented work. So there is a lot of scope in the GRC domain. So definitely, I'll recommend everyone to get into this. And if I may say so, in the apart from this, currently in the cybersecurity. There are other emerging technologies as well. You may pick up cloud, like cloud security is coming now. AI governance is also coming up. So just not having the CISSP, CISM, CRISC, those certificates will not help you. You should definitely have the good understanding and knowledge in these domains as well. You should have good understanding of the cloud, because in currently whatever companies I have worked so far, everywhere the cloud was always there. Cloud will because most of the company now they are doing the transition from uh, traditional on-prem infrastructure to the cloud to save the cost, save the money. Definitely you should learn the cloud. Now AI, maybe in 2 3 4 years, AI governance will also come up everywhere, maybe in all the organization.
That's very true. Something related to AI or something related to new technology. I think cloud and AI are the hot topics these days, and
Correct.
they are going to come up in future in line. And the part of governance as well, the way you mentioned. You kept on always saying us, Shashank, when we had our earlier word also, that continuous learning is the key ingredients for somebody who want to withstand for a longer period of time. So, how has your approach to continuous learning evolved since entering in cybersecurity?
So it actually uh, it undergone a significant evolution since I decided that now I'll be stepping into the corporate, right? So learning in the military was often structured. We also had a lot of trainings and all. Even in the corporate, you have a lot of trainings and all, but those were mainly with the military setting, military exercises what we have. So definitely to make a shift to the corporate world, I needed to learn something new, right? So I remember 2021. I did transition in 2022. So 1 year before, I decided that okay, if I want to move out, definitely I need to start building new skills. So I started with the project and program management. Then I moved to cybersecurity. So what I have kept aim since then, each year what I keep, you should learn new certificate, you should gain new skills, because at least I know everyone is busy with their day-to-day work. There's a lot of work also in your corporate setting, but one certification at least you can easily gain in a year. So every year, what I say everyone to actually at least gain new skills, gain new certifications. I'm not saying it's only related to cybersecurity. It can be anything. Maybe you can learn some automation tool, you can learn some data analytics tools, but definitely you should gain or learn new skills every year. That will actually help you keep going in the security career. So if I may say, so I first did the PMP, which is the project management certification, then I did Scrum, then I did ISO 27001, then I did CISM, and then I did CISSP. So every year I'm getting one new skill, that's which is helping me to actually get going with the
And
fast-paced world.
we wish that you live so long that you have at least 100 certifications.
Yeah, I say so.
That's interesting. But we are very close to end of the discussion, and I would love to say to our audience also that Sushant was one of our alumni as well. He has been with us, as he mentioned initially. So we'll talk about his experience with InfosecTrain as well. But before I jump into there, since the scenario is somewhere we wanted to love to know something from you, that as you mentioned about the exercises, there are military exercises that are actually happening. What cyber security exercises which you think which we should keep in our mind at this point of time, as a general also you can say, or as a technical person also you can say, what we are doing and what we need to do.
Correct. So today morning itself, before coming to the podcast, I did one LinkedIn post for the community to make them aware about the cybersecurity threat what we have today. Because what I read, a lot of news articles now, people start getting some phishing messages. Even there are a lot of videos also which are coming, being circulated. So many aircraft down, this thing happened, and people, due to curiosity, they end up clicking on those particular links. They try to open those things. So in such kind of scenario, what I'm saying, until unless you don't know the person who is sending you something, please don't click on those particular emails, those phishing emails, or maybe those kind of messages which you have, because these days these phishing emails are so sophisticated. Even if you click something, your information is gone completely. And even the UPI,
Do you
yeah,
think they will be served of all those things? I mean, ideally, if I'm asking, at this point of time, the current scenario.
yes, definitely. It's going on already. Already, I have a good connect in my groups and all. I already keep seeing that people have started getting such kind of calls, spam calls and all. They are already getting. So definitely it will come. And because if they are not able to defeat you there in the border, maybe, so they'll try to defeat you here in this another front. So, and here actually there is no one to protect you, only you are the one who can protect yourself. So be
Oh,
vigilant about these things. And even don't circulate any wrong information until unless you don't know the truth of it. Maybe if suppose I receive some kind of such kind of phishing email, I am not aware about it, I, even if I don't click it, if I'm circulating it in some other groups and also, definitely then a lot of people are getting affected. So please don't circulate anything which is coming to you.
that's very, 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 very good information that you have shared, Shashank. I think that everyone should take care of it the way you have explained about things. I mean, it's a full of interesting thing. You bring it live explanations. You bring your education experiences, your physical experiences in the at the time when you was in Air Force. You also brought some security learnings that what which people should have at this point of time, or they should have on the regular basis, and the career guidance that you have mentioned, that how people can evolve them and how they should look it down when they're making a shift in their career from a specific domain they are into and moving to the next part, specifically for military people as well. But the advices and information you have given to us today, I think it's similar to everybody. The discipline, the routine which people have to follow, it's quite similar to everybody. So
Correct.
could you share your yeah? So could you share your expertise with InfoSecond? I mean, how would they help you to build a bridge between military expertise and with cybersecurity requirements, and how was all your experiences out there?
Sure. So, as I've already talked throughout the broadcast, definitely military training helps you getting a strong understanding of the risk and other strategic thinking, other things you get from the military. But definitely, once you are making a transition to the corporate, you want to get new certificates and all. So, InfosecTrain initially also I emphasize on this. They helped me get two certificates, clear two gold standard certificate. One is the CISM, another one CISSP. So as I already told, I'm from military background, but generally you don't talk about these corporate jargons and the things which are generally being used in the certificate. So the structured training, the material which was being provided by them actually helped me a lot to actually clear those certification very easily. So and in the broadcast, I would like to make a special mention to the Prab also, because he's the one who actually guided me clear these two certificates. So special thank to him. And if I tell, there are a lot of open source study materials, open source YouTube videos, and other platforms. They are providing the training. However, you can do that, but I- I'll tell you, in the corporate setting, once you are working every day, morning to evening, you generally don't get that enough time to actually study. If you do self-study, definitely you need to dedicate 4 5 hours every day, and maybe it may take 3 4 5 months to actually study everything and then clear the certification. But if you generally go for such kind of a structured training, generally you can ace these things in a small period of time, so that then you can shift your focus in other things. Because till the time you don't clear the certificate, I'm personally you will always be feel worried, because these are very expensive certification. You will be spending 75 to 80,000 rupees from your pocket. So definitely you want to clear these in a first go itself. So infosec train actually helped me a lot. Their structured training, the way they taught me, and even the kind of a quizzes, questionnaire which they provided to practice the exam, and all the live exam setting to sit for 3 4 hours, answer these questions, definitely helped me a lot to make the transition and gain these two certificates.
Oh, thank you so much, Sushant. We're very overwhelmed by the way you mentioned about your experiences, and we blessed to keep giving us such experiences in future as well, and to all other learners as well who continuously joining with us on day-to-day basis. Uh, we are at a closing note, Sushant. It's over to you. If you want to say anything to all our viewers in terms of your information you want to deliver with current scenario or with your experiences or in any scenario, any sort of advices you would love to give our viewers, it's over to you, and then we can close discussion later down the line.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anas. And firstly, again, I would like to thank InfoSec Train community for giving me opportunity to appear for this podcast. And the last message which I would like to give to everyone, if any veterans they are listening to this podcast and they would like to make transition to the cybersecurity, start building your skills, start building your basic cybersecurity skills, focus on basic cybersecurity skills. Then may you may step one step ahead, gain these certificates CSM, CISSP, definitely they will give you a good opportunity to focus on all the other domains. Then you can make the transition in the cybersecurity world. And the second thing about this current scenario, whatever is happening, so
Right.
my prayer and my prayer goes to all those people who are actually currently living in the border areas. I know a lot of shelling, a lot of things are happening, and innocent civilians, they are getting impacted. My prayers to all the soldiers as well as their families. Those are actually fighting war. Uh, they are in the front. They are always at the front. Their life is also at the risk. But that's what soldiers do. But definitely my prayer goes to them. And the second thing is the cybersecurity threat. So currently in such kind of scenario, please don't circulate any kind of misinformation until unless you get a legit thing what you are aware of. Please follow the news channel or not. Don't circulate any wrong or misinformation in any groups or anywhere, because it will definitely bring down our current efficacy what we have, the operations what currently is running.
Oh, wow, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Sushant. I mean, I really feel very proud enough talking to you. I mean, somebody at this point of time could be the best one to we talk about. Watching your face being so calm and explaining about things in this very, very controlled way, it's really make us believe that yes, everything is good enough. And all we have to keep ourselves strong enough in terms of our knowledge, skills, and abilities. The one who wanted to set up something good in their career, the audience, whether who wanted to do some transition from military services to the new talent field you wanted to come up, this is going to be a good discussion. You come up and listen to here. To other people as well who are actually thinking that what could be the directional shift in cybersecurity because of the impact we are watching these days in physical threats, it's very similar. It's just the way Sushant said, for cybersecurity or the data security, or you can say digital threats protection, is only can be done by yourself when you act as a warrior, when you act as a contributor, enhancer for your nation, and make yourself believe that whatever type of information or whatever type of data I'm circulating or I'm talking about, it need to be legit enough and to support enough in the best possible ways, and no need to be part of any type of you can say experiment at this point of time, getting some scam
Correct.
call messages and all. Stay away from all those things. uh, I'm a wonderful Shanta. This is really amazing to have discussion today with you, and thank you for sharing your journey and insights with us today. You actually have provided a valuable roadmap for the military personnel as well, and considering for cybersecurity careers, also offering fresh perspective about how military experiences are going these days and how much we are actually need to evolve us in terms of cybersecurity. Uh, to all the audience who watching us today, having a combination of unique discipline, strategies, thinking, and adaptability. That's the only key can allow you along the side of special technical skills also needed to be get successful in this field. Your expertise demonstrated how these words can effectively merge to create security leaders with a distinctive strength in terms of growth. Thank you all of you for joining us today. I encourage you all to connect with InfosecTrain or Sushant on LinkedIn to continue understanding about the security measures in terms of digital world and digital threats. Also, until next time, stay secure, stay safe, keep learning, and keep adding more and more legit information in your day-to-day life to keep yourself secure, safe, and vigilant enough. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Sushant, for coming up
Thank
today.
you. Thank you so much, Anas, once again. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.